What's going on, friends? James Nguyen here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. I've just been messing with that stupid camera, but I am glad you are here. Good afternoon, evening. What? This technical difficulties. If it weren't happening, you wouldn't know where you were, guys. Thank you for joining me. It is 8 o'clock on a Sunday evening, so we are going to draw. We are going to end our weekend with a drawing of our Man of Steel. Dun, 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 dun. Superman. But before we get started, Reverend Saver beat you, Fong. He beat you. He got you. Thank you for showing up, brother man. And Mr. Fong, always a delight to see you here in the live stream. So without further ado, hit that like button, guys. If you're not already subscribed and you're watching this later, please consider subscribing and make the channel grow. Please. We are at 308. 308. Ernest is in the house saying, what's up? What's up, brother Ernest? You are appreciated here at the Alpha Red Comic Channel. I want to bring your attention to something new that I am doing coming up this Thursday at 8 p.m. I'm doing something called Can You Draw? Can you draw? And it's just kind of a play on words. Hopefully you understand that I can draw, and you watch me here every week. But it's can you draw, fill in the blank. So I get commissions from every now and again, and I want to share that experience with the people who are commissioning me. So this week will be the inaugural. Is that the right word? The first episode of Can You Draw, and it's called Can You Draw Red Phantom. So this is right here. Dun, 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 dun. Window? Do I share the window? Is this it? Kabamski. So this is Red Phantom. This is the reference that Patrick gave to me, and I will be drawing this character. I've already done it. We have already streamed it. It was a private stream, and then I downloaded it, and then I'm making it a premiere for 8 p.m. this Thursday, Eastern Time. See what it looks like for me to draw that character. So without further ado, we are going to draw the Man of Steel, who had, I guess, his birthday. What do they call it? You know, Superman Day is the first day he was published. Probably not the first day he was invented. You know, it's hard to nail down those things. But April 18th, I was in Honduras, could not do anything. Came back last week, kind of slipped my mind, honestly. But walked into my local comic book store, and they still had their Superman Day setup going. So I found this book, this comic sketch cover. It's a little bit bigger. Hang on, I don't want it to move. I'm gonna stop the camera here. It's got to blink. All right, I know that was a weird hand gesture thing, but it's how I have to stop it. So this is going to be the thing. So I got carried away, like drawing off to get the composition right, and then I couldn't stop myself. So this is as far as I got. So Fong says, are we doing the Golden Age costume? I'm so right now. I don't want to say obsessed with the David Cornsweet one. I mean, I guess I could change the costume here, but right now it's meant to be the David Cornsweet new 2025 Superman. I'm trying to avoid saying James Gunn Superman because it does annoy me. I do watch some of these geeks and gamers, and they're like, why is it always James Gunn Superman? James Gunn is just making a movie of Superman. He didn't create it. He didn't whatever. Why is it called James Gunn Superman when David Cornsweet is playing Superman? So it's not, you know, I'm trying to avoid it. But if I say James Gunn Superman, we all know that that's who is making the movie this year. So Patrick Daniel in the house saying hello to everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me again. So Patrick Daniel is the commissioner of the first Can You Draw? So we had a pretty good time hanging out. At least I had a good time. I don't know if Patrick had a good time, but we had cool discussions about the origins of Red Phantom and when he created it and how he came to settle on the outfit that we see, all those cool things, and we talk about his favorite artist and writer and all that good stuff. So, without further ado, we're gonna jump right into this David Cornsweet version, unless you guys want to see a different like a golden age version. Like, so as a creator, I look at this Action Comics #1 and I read through it. I read through the first whatever here, and it is a little goofy. Like, my man, he has kidnapped this woman. So I thought he was rescuing this woman, but he has kidnapped her and he's turning her into the authorities. So there's a little bit of goofiness here, but it just gives me solace to know that they didn't have every detail nailed down, and this is definitely not the Superman that we all knew and loved growing up. So this is a slightly bigger thing. So this is why I'm measuring it, because it is actually 7 3/4 by 10 1/2. And this is how it compares to a normal comic. So this is a normal comic. This is Batman Hush. I just picked this up today at the local comic store. Have not read it yet, but I got the preview, the black and white preview. So I'm super excited to see it. This was the other pickup for from the comic book shop. So I'm very excited to dig into the Batman Hush. Not so much the Amazing Spider-Man, because I haven't read the first Amazing Spider-Man yet. So, all right, let's get into some more detail in the outfit here. Let's check in and see. Patrick Daniel says he had a great time. Thank you for being kind, and thank you for spending the morning with me yesterday morning. So Ernest says, just all us regulars here in the chat. Yes, and I appreciate it, Mr. Ernest. Very, very grateful for all of you guys. Fong says, nah, go ahead with your drawing. Okay, very cool. That's the thumbs up for the David Cornsweet, unless somebody comes in and they gotta see the golden age with the little snake in the shield, because that's all I could think of. And like, sometimes there's no S in it at all. It's like, it feels like they tried to make it embroidered, like down here. I don't know if you guys can see down here at the bottom, where it just hints at it like popping up off the yellow. But he comes in, he kidnaps this girl who ends up being the murderer, the real murderer, and he's trying to convince the governor who's sleeping here, to change his mind about the death penalty that this innocent woman who's about to be murdered or be whatever, capital punishment, killed the next day or something like that. And then he gives a confession notice from this kidnapped woman. Like, wouldn't you sign a confession thing if Superman came and forced you to? So who knows, right? Fun stuff. All right, let's see if there's any request for Golden Age Superman instead. He kidnaps her because another woman was about to be executed for the crime she committed. I get it. But like, if a Superman, a super dude, came and said, "You're the murderer, not the other girl. You got to sign this." Like, I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. I find that all those early versions of the characters we know and love were very different. Yes. Fortunate and unfortunate, right? It gives us great hope that even if we don't get it right the first time, there might be some forgiveness from our fans down the road to correct some of these things. So, yes, this is my current, like I see a lot of stuff about the new Cornsweet Superman. So I bite every time. Like, if there's some news on it, I want to see it. And I know that it might spoil things for me, but I do enjoy hearing some news about it, because everything that I've seen is pretty good so far. it just gets me more and more excited every time I see something new about it. I think I'm ready. Am I ready, guys? Am I ready? Are you down with these lines in his suit? And you can see, like I have a reference picture of David Cornsweat over here, and you can see, like, the dude is buff, right? He's been working out. That doesn't accidentally happen. He's got some triceps over here. Like, the man's working out. Like the muscles are there, but like the suit doesn't do him any favors, right? It kind of looks like, if you go by these lines, it makes him look like he's got like a dad bod. I mean, the man spent some time in the gym. Make the suit hug him a little bit, you know. And this was the face I was trying to emulate, and it's harder than you think to really get someone's likeness. That's why early on with Alpha Red, I wasn't too keen on using someone's likeness as a reward for to fundraise. But I broke down and did it, and a couple of people jumped in, and so it's fun to have friends and family and people that I know support the book, and then, you know, to put them in the book. So what are you guys doing? This weekend? Oddly baggy look for his costume, right? Like, it's like the guy worked out. I saw some pictures of him at the gym. He's like swole. He's like, he put time in. But no, he got the baggy look. So did you guys celebrate? Did your comic shop celebrate Superman Day? Ooh, every time I pull this thing up, I go, boy, I got eyebrows wrong, got something wrong. Let's just go right in. And hopefully it all works out in the end here. So, are we all Superman fans? I mean, of course we all love Superman to a certain degree. But do we have any fans out there? I'm trying to make him look as close to this picture as possible. I am changing his eyes to look the other way, so that's always tricky too. But he definitely looks like Superman, I must say. Just whatever it is, the handsome, athletic build, just boy next door kind of something about it. Whatever those qualities are, we know it when we see it. We know it when we see it. So did you guys accomplish anything this weekend? Any projects? Any honey-do lists? Things that got taken care of? I'll tell you about mine. Let me see. Fong says, wife and I went to a missions report back last night. One team was a medical missions to Ecuador, and the other was an outreach in Japan. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. No, I enjoyed going to Honduras and just kind of seeing the missionaries that were there. We support in-country people is, I guess, the mindset of how my church supports missionaries. So they say it doesn't make as much sense to have somebody from America go all the way to a different country and a different culture to try to tell them about Jesus, when there are plenty of people who need to hear about Jesus right here in America, and we know the culture, and those people in those areas know their culture best. That just doesn't do him any justice, does it? He's supposed to be a handsome guy, but we'll just make him generically Superman-ish. But we can't let that stop us. We are just going to finish the Superman at hand. So you guys looking forward to the Superman? Yeah, so the mission trip was really, really cool. Like I said, it's local people, and to hear their journey from like just corporate, the main pastor was an engineer, quit his job, said he was already Christian, but was doing very well economically. And one day he heard he's listening to the radio, some Christian radio, and the person on the radio said, "I don't know who I'm talking to, but it's a guy driving a red car on this certain road. I've got a message for you, so pull over." And he's like, "I'm driving a red car. I'm on this road right now." So he pulls over, and God says, "You are going to be taking the word to people in the mountains." And he was like, "I live in the city. What do I care about the people in the mountains?" So he quits his job. He says he was making 6 figures, and in Honduras, I mean, they're he said 6 figures like in American money, in dollars. And he would do things for Coca-Cola or Pepsi and things like that. Of course, there was a language barrier, so this was through translation and things like that. But for him to give up everything like that, high-paying job, and move into the mountains, my goodness, this was exactly what you think of when you think like third world country, or like, Honduras is definitely not a third world country, but the area that he serves and the area that we were in, definitely third world. I mean, barefoot, chickens walking around. Nobody knows what to do with the chickens. I don't know if I talked to you guys about that last week, but part of his goal is to teach the people to be more self-sustaining. And they just don't understand that if they trap the chicken, they can just have eggs more often instead of going and buying eggs from the city. Because all they do in the mountain is grow coffee. And they have good coffee. Nothing wrong with their coffee. I bought 3 bags to bring home. Not as good as my Tim Hortons. I did miss my Tim Hortons. I don't know if you guys have Tim Hortons where you are, but Tim Hortons coffee is my preferred coffee. But Pastor Paul and his wife was an attorney, and they both gave up their jobs, moved up into the mountains, and they, for 3 years, nobody responded to anything that they were doing. And so, but they continued, and that was 14 years ago. Now they affect, I think it was like 300 people, which sounds small, but I mean, that's 300 people. It's hard to get. There's only 30,000 people on this mountain in Honduras, Comayagua. But they're slowly making inroads through teaching them how to do things, farm and sew and play soccer. Everybody over there loves soccer, even the poor people. So they have like these soccer clinics. It's kind of what we did when we were over there. some of the people that I went with, they coached soccer, and the young kids, they played soccer. The son, two of the boys played soccer, so they were teaching the kids some drills and stuff. The kids knew how to play. Boy, they were super aggressive, and so they loved learning the drills and the footwork and all that stuff. So very cool. Very cool to see them participate like that. By that time, I threw my back out, so I assumed that I was going to run around with these kids and pretend to play soccer, but I didn't. I wasn't able to because I threw out my back. But no, that part was awesome. Lots of cool stuff. So Fong says the medical missions trip. Okay. The medical missions team took a photo of some Batman bag in the tourist area to show me. Nice. Hey, when you're a fan and people know you're a fan, they help you out, right? Wherever they go. I've been on a Superman celebration, been to the Superman celebration in Metropolis. Yeah, I think we talked about that yesterday, didn't we? Metropolis and things like that. I think I heard that from you. A few times even. Wow. Nice. Fong says, hoping to see Superman opening weekend, hoping to go with my siblings and their families. Yeah. So a lot of people I know are excited about it. I know online it's a mixed bag. Everybody's hopeful, but not so whatever. John's Longbox loves Tim Hortons. I'm saying it's good stuff, man. If you need some, I can mail you some. But I'm not like a coffee aficionado, but I drink my coffee black. And so I suffer through whatever coffee. And my wife was on this big kick about getting me to drink organic coffee. And I got coffee from Ethiopia, from Ecuador, from all these places. They promise that it's, like non-slave labor coffee or whatever. And that's all great. And the people in Honduras, in Comayagua, the city that I went to, the people up in the hills, that's what they do. They're not slaves, but I mean, they are a slave to that industry where they only, that's all they do is coffee. That's all they know to grow. And they can't just keep growing the same crop. And that is what the pastor's trying to teach them. Like, nope, we've always done coffee, and it's always produced. It just keeps producing a little less every year. He's like, yeah, because you got to let the ground rest, and they're like, the city is taking water from the mountain, just like a lot of political stuff too, that they were telling us. Politics are bad everywhere, guys. The only time they say that the politicians do anything for the people in the mountains are when they want their votes. So they'll come up and they'll say, hey, what do you need? And they'll ask for roads and stuff. So there's patches of road where it's like it goes from gravel and dirt and clay and rocks everywhere. And then it goes to like this super smooth road for, I don't know, like 200 feet. And it goes back to gravel and road. And I asked the pastor, what's going on here? It's like, yeah, when the politicians come, they tell us how much room they have money for, and we tell them where to put it, and we just put it at the most dangerous places so that we can go up and down the mountain. So just patches here and there of smooth road. So that was that's how that went. Fong says, I primarily drink Vietnamese coffee now. Ha ha ha. Which Vietnamese coffee? Because there's one that's Trung Nguyen coffee. That's my my given name. That's my birth name, Trung. And then the last name, that's a Vietnamese coffee that I'm aware of. But then there's like this French, French, not French, but like Louisiana French, like down that way, St. Louis kind of French or something. that my family always used to make Vietnamese coffee, to make Vietnamese iced coffee. So are you using that, or are you using something from Vietnam? My wife limits me to 2 per month. Oh man. Oh, did I miss something? My favorite is Vietnamese egg coffee. I don't know if I'm familiar with egg coffee, bro. You gotta tell me about the egg coffee. She limits you to 2 per month. Hey, she's probably doing you a favor, bro. I'm just saying. Not a fan of any coffee from any country. Nice. Hey, not everybody's got good taste, Patrick. I just gotta say. I'm kidding. No, I didn't think that I would like coffee either, but you find coffee. Well, I found coffee in my 20s. That's where most of our age range, I would think, found coffee. But I know kids in the church are drinking coffee black like crazy. I'm like, that's nuts. I thought it tasted awful until I needed to stay awake. And now it's just like ingrained in my brain that I need coffee to be awake. So it's more habitual than it is a necessity. Although my brain thinks it's a necessity. So I obsess over it in the morning. But yes, coffee is important to me. And to a lot of people. I don't know. Are you a tea drinker, Patrick? You drinking tea? Ernest says, so it's not your cup of tea, Patrick. Yeah, we were just thinking the same thing. Same thing, brother. Not your cup of tea. Just fooling, just messing with you. I found it when I was in my early 20s, making foolish decisions, staying up too late, going out to bars, and I had to be at work, awake, 5 a.m., dressed. I worked at a factory making ice cream. So if you've ever heard of Hershey's ice cream, not to be confused with Hershey's chocolate, says it on every ice cream package from Hershey that they have no affiliation with Hershey chocolate. But very close. I grew up near Hershey, Pennsylvania. But Hershey's ice cream was made in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, in a little factory. In a factory downtown. Not with the peaches. Not with the millions of peaches. But it was in a factory downtown. And forget, how did we get there? Oh, that's where I found my love for coffee, because I was a foolish young man in my early 20s and stayed out way too late. Would sleep in the car, in the parking lot. The ladies in the factory would come knock on my window because they couldn't work until I set up the machines. So bad boy in my early 20s. But they had the best cream. Back then, I drank a lot of cream and sugar with my coffee. It wasn't until I gave that up because I was on a diet, and they said, you can drink coffee, but don't put in the cream and sugar because that's what makes you fat. So once I gave that up, I dropped a couple pounds, and it's been black coffee ever since. But I'm still chubby. So what's going on, little by little homeschool? How we doing? That's the old missus right there. I gave it away, honey. I gave it away. I called you out. The old missus. She never comes on. So I am feeling got a little pep in my step because my baby is here. Yeah, my wife is helping me keep me alive longer. They need us. They need us as much as we need them, brother. Not even tea, Patrick? Not even tea? Nice tall glass of orange juice, and I'm good. Nice. Okay. Natural man. Come on, Come to San Jose sometime, and I'll take you out for egg coffee. Okay. I will take that as an invitation. That's the wifey again. I lived in Lock Haven, PA, for a time, and worked in Williamsport. Nice. That's a little up north from where I grew up. But yeah, that's my neck of the woods out there. My neck of the woods. That's where I grew up. For 36 years, I lived in Harrisburg. But yeah, made ice cream. I was a janitor. I don't know, what kind of crazy jobs have you guys had? I mean, this is the cushiest job that I've ever had, being a insurance salesman. But I have had some really bad jobs, including paperboy. I don't know if you guys were ever delivering papers, waking up on Saturday and Sunday mornings, delivering papers in the rain, in the snow, whatever the post office thing motto was, that was same for the paperboy. So I lived in a bad neighborhood. It's a poor neighborhood. And I got my bike stolen more than once. When these kids surround you, they say, "Give me your bike." You just get off your bike and give them your bike. Any bad jobs out there? Fong says he was a paper boy too. Maybe it's a Vietnamese thing, huh? All the Vietnamese kids came over and became paper boys. Couldn't read the papers. No, I think Fong, you were born here, right? I'm an immigrant. But Mr. Fong, I believe, was born here. Paper boy. So guys, if you have not already hit that like button, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you are not subscribed yet, please do so. That helps out the algorithm. It says that we're doing something fun and interesting over here. That's what they tell me. I just repeat what people say. For the most part. It's safer that way. You don't get very far just doing that, but just repeating what people say. I'm kidding, of course. Just kidding. Fong says, I need comic book money. That's right. That's why I'm doing this. You guys got to go and buy this from my Etsy store. Usually these things are available on the Etsy store. Sometimes I kind of hold on to them for a little bit because I feel close to them for whatever reason. Or sometimes I forget to put them on. But this one is available already on Etsy if you guys are interested. For $40. $40, because you see this price tag? That was a little more expensive than the normal sketch covers that I pick up. So that is kind of built into the cost. All right, now we're going to do the contrast. We kind of did all the little outlining to get all the detail and the composition and make all the little lines work together. And then we'll go in. And Patrick says he's an inker, digital inker. So this should be right up Patrick's alley here. Where's my middle grade thing? So the blue one here is, the tip is a little more firm, so you get a tighter line, and which is fine. But I guess we have the time. So it usually takes a little bit longer to get the line weight because you're going over it more than once. See, it took 3 strokes there to get the line width that I wanted. But if you have a softer tip, like I have a light gray, this is a dark gray. So this is like really soft tip. And so it drops a pretty fat line when you lay it down. But this can get fatter if you press harder, but it really ruins the cheap tip here. It's not the most expensive brand of brush pen, and it's not even a brush. It just acts like a brush, so that's why they call it a brush pen. But it's just a piece of plastic that bends whilst flowing, allowing ink to flow. Let's see. $11. Yes, Mr. Nickerson. $11 for this sketch cover. I think if you bought if you bought the non-sketch cover, it was still $10. So it was an extra $1 for them to slap this on top. And kind of dig into our wallets a little bit more if we wanted to have a little sketchy fun. So I am going to be crowdfunding Alpha Red #7 in May. So I am up to page 20, completed page 20 yesterday, and I thought I was going to do page 21 today. It's on the drawing board. Let me see how far. Nope, just 1.5 panels into page 21. And I have page 22 almost all the way laid out because I did that down in Honduras. I had the panels kind of drawn out already, which is part of the pain. The non-creative part of doing comics that kind of holds up the process are just like little nuanced things like that, putting in panels, because let me see if I have everything close to me. Can I show you? Yeah, so I do like thumbnails in this like digest sized thing here. So I'll just break it down. I'll write in some of the dialogue. Things change, but this is the general idea. So you're throwing in these panels, and then when you get to a blank sheet of paper, you start off like, boy, now you got to put in all this line work, and then and that takes a little bit more precision. So you're using rulers, and you got to put in your gutters. You're working out the designs of the thing. Like, hey, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Like, here's page 21. So it's going to be like this first panel here is like this panel here. And then this robot is going to be shooting at Zed Keel. And then I changed the angle because I wanted it to be a little bit more exciting. And so just throwing out these panel lines can be pretty tedious, so that you have the right flow and composition. So I did not have that done for most of the pages when I was down in Honduras. So that's why I have page 22 started and kind of laid out, because that page had the panels kind of put in. And so I have a little head start on page 22, even though I didn't completely finish it. But that's how it is. Mr. Nickerson says, if you use a brush, then you wouldn't need all those handful of pens. Truth speaker, Mr. Al Nickerson is. I inked with the old Winsor Newton Series 7, number 2 brush. Look at that. You're speaking Al's language there. I know Patrick Daniel knows what I'm talking about. That's right. That's the language there. Yep. I did use microns for small details in small places, for sure. I assume that most inkers do, or maybe you use nibs. Al, you can talk a little bit more about that. Yeah, I was using microns at MTV and on Ace Ventura because of the crummy paper. I once had to ink half of a DC comic with microns. Still love brushes though. Yep. You got to go with your strengths. No, Al lays down a mean line for sure. So if you haven't picked up Al's book, Sword of Eden, that is a fun read. I don't know. Can they go to swordofeden.com? Al, is that where they can pick up a copy of your comic? And then Shinobi, is that the second one? I should know these things. I should know. Patrick says he hated inking with the Crow Quill pen. Yeah. Al, how about the Hunt 102 nib? How about that? Look at those guys talking shop, talking the inking language, which I explored a little bit. I bought the inking book tutorial that Scott Williams, a whole bunch of inkers, I want to say, were a part of that, and they gave you their tips, and then they all inked the same picture in their style, and I thought that was very interesting. I didn't realize that different inkers had such a vast different styles, how big the style differences could or would be. I attributed a lot of that to the penciler, but I think, and Al can correct me if I'm wrong, but like it used to be more that the penciler leaned more heavily on the inker, because the penciler was supposed to just kind of lay out the composition, the anatomy, and some of the light sources and things like that. And then the inker needed to have some real artistic ability to come in then and then finish up the pages. So inkers could really make or break the page, the artist, the comic. So, all right, let's start throwing in some contrast. We outline a little bit more of the details to separate some details out past the others. And I'm keeping this, I'll just tear this off. So they all come like this now. These sketch covers, they all have this cover to the sketch cover, which is nice. You know, like it's not getting dirty or whatever. But like you feel bad tearing it off because it does protect the page there. Oh, my goodness. But it's quite a hassle. So this stage here just kind of separates some of the line weights so that like some of these, the line work that people have a problem with the new suit, the corn sweatsuit, can sink back while the anatomy lines are kind of elevated. brought forth. So that's the reason for that. And then we'll grab, hopefully this will be easy to find here, this brush pen, my preferred brush pen. There we go. One of these days I'll have Patrick and Al on here giving me a tutorial on inking. So I use the proper stuff, the proper brushes. We can ink some Red Phantom. So if you guys missed it in the beginning, I am starting a new series, kind of different kinds of different kind of episode or different kind of video, where it's going to be called "Can You Draw?" So the first one is going to be called "Can You Draw Red Phantom?" because that is the character that Patrick commissioned me to draw, and it's his original character. And so I created a private chat, private like stream, and then I draw it like this, and Patrick is on there, and we chit chat about his influences, what he was thinking when he created Red Phantom. We go through some of the other commissions, other artists who took a crack at Red Phantom, including Scott McDaniel. So this is Red Phantom, and it's premiering on Thursday at 8 p.m. And I will be in the chat. I don't know if Patrick can be in the chat. He will be on the video. We've already done the stream, but just something new. I've gotten a couple of commission requests here in the past couple of weeks, and as I work my way through them, I thought it would be neat to talk to the people who asked me to draw it, and just kind of enhance that commission by allowing the person who commissioned it to watch me draw it, talk about it, and talk about comics overall. You know, the fun, geeky stuff. All right, I don't want to do too much more because I'll tend to overdo it. But what do you think, guys? What do you think? Let's see. That was, I hated working with that here. I think this was the one. That was the one Al says, how about the Hunt 102 nib? And Patrick says, that was the one I used, but never really liked it. A bit too scratchy for my taste. I tried it many times, just could never get a handle on it. I can agree to like some things that people will suggest, and I'm like, I can't make it work for me. So the Netadon says, from where did you get the Superman image on your thumbnail? I just Googled it, honestly. Whatever popped up and whatever it looked like I thought was cool, I just popped it in there. So that is where I got it. Al says, you'd be surprised of how many pencilers really don't know how to ink. Truth. That may be because how we were trained doing one thing or the other. Yep. So I don't know how many of the older guys that we really like John Byrne was doing, like John Byrne and George Perez were doing like 4 books a month, 3 or 4 books a month. So they couldn't be inking their own stuff doing that, I wouldn't imagine. So Patrick says, yeah, I gravitated to inking fairly early. No talent for penciling. Hey, you got to go with your strengths, whatever you feel comfortable with. You know, we need inkers too. Practice on so many sheets of tracing paper. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Patrick and I can yell at you together for sure. Got to find my brush now. Yep. Try my best to be there. Yep. On Thursday. And maybe that might not be the best time for everybody, but for me, for now, I have some time on Thursdays to kind of be in the chat while the video plays. And so if anybody wants to interact through the chat on that first, can you draw Red Phantom? And I say, yes, I can. All right, guys. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't do a lot of the penciling of this on camera because I got carried away as I was preparing, just trying to lay down the inks here. I mean, lay down the thumbs for composition's sake, and got carried away with the pencils and ended up penciling it pretty tight. So not much in the way of that in the beginning. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know if you want to, let me see. I have this old one. Remember the sketchathon from the other day? I started this. I can also, I forgot to put these up on Etsy. I don't know if you guys are interested in this. This is a picture of Satan from my comic, and I did it on a sketch cover. And I was going to put it up for auction at the last auction for the Alternative Comics guys. And I had this guy too. This is Ashby. This is the demon who betrays Satan in my story. So if you haven't picked up Alpha Red, you can go to alpharedcomic.com and you can order copies of Alpha Red, or you can wait until May next month, a couple days. It's actually probably 2.5, 3 weeks away that I'm going to be starting the Fund My Comic or Kickstarter. I'm trying to debate on where to go first. But that's 2 or 3 weeks away, and there'll be a catch-up tier and all that stuff. So if you can wait, that would help me out. I got something that I wanted to work on. Got to do the Batgirls. Remember the Batgirls? Yeah. We'll just stick with. So this is as done as it's going to be for now. I'll probably tinker with it a little bit as I wait for the ink to dry. I'll erase a lot of the stuff and see if it needs a little bit more line work to kind of punch it up a little bit. But I will. I'll just maybe finish up the last 5 minutes here on this. So if you guys haven't liked or subscribed yet, it would be fantastic if you would do that, and it helps to grow the channel and helps people to discover Alpha Red. And I'm hoping more and more people discover Alpha Red because I've got a lot of stories to tell with that guy. I'm already working on, Ray is working on the next issue so that I can jump right into it. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but if I want to continue to put out more Alpha Red comics, which is the strategy, is to have 2 or 3 a year if I can handle it. So that way people can discover more people can discover it. And once they discover it, they can have more of a backlog to pick up. So hopefully you guys have already bought Alpha Red and you're part of the in crowd, the guys who know who Alpha Red is. But I want more and more people. The idea is to have Alpha Red be in every household. I know it's a lofty goal, but I want him to be as recognizable as Spider-Man. And I know that takes a long, long time. But it also, we live in an age where things can go very far, very fast on the internet. So it just takes the right kind of character at the right time and a wing and a prayer. And maybe Alpha Red will be as recognizable as Deadpool here, or Spider-Man, Batman, all those mans. Alpha Red Man, Captain Red Man. Let me see if I'm missing anything here. Practice. Yep. Impact trick. Yep. You can yell at me together. Gotta find the brush. Yep. It'll be there on Thursday if you can. James Red Phantom drawing was awesome. Hope everyone can make it and bring a friend for sure. That's some good advice there, Patrick. Good advice. So come out, hang out. And if you want me to draw your character or any character, you can email me at alpharedcomic.com. At alpharedcomic@gmail.com is where you can email me. I think if you go to alpharedcomic.com, you can there's a contact me, and it'll take you to that as well. All right, guys, we are at the 9 o'clock hour, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this hour. And I will be back next week. Hopefully you can join me on Thursday for the Can You Draw Red Phantom, where I draw Patrick Daniels' character, Red Phantom. And even if your character isn't named Red something, I will still draw it. It will simply cost you, at this time, it'll cost you $50 plus $10 if you want me to ship it to you. Otherwise, I just hold on to it until the next time you order something from me that is a physical shipping. That'll save you $10. But if you want the drawing right away, you just pay $60 and I will ship it out. Patrick, I will get you tracking on that tonight, and that will go out tomorrow morning. The Red Phantom, your Red Phantom drawing will get out tomorrow. All right, guys. I really appreciate you being here. I never turned on the music, did I? You had to listen to me the whole time with no music on in the background. Shame on me. Anyway, you guys have been fantastic. I appreciate you guys spending the end of your weekend with me. Hopefully you're all rested and ready to go. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do so and make all the algorithms go wild. So guys, until next week, until next Sunday, drop a comment down there if you have any suggestions on who you want me to draw. I will put it through my filter of will this reach more people kind of thing. And then maybe I will pick what you ask me to draw. So I'm very persuadable. So go ahead and leave that in the comments below. I really appreciate you guys joining me every Sunday at 8 Eastern. Every Sunday, the Sunday night draw stream. Until next time, grace and peace. I'm going to hit the buttons. We are.
the shadows he rises, with courage in his heart, a beacon of hope, he's ready to start. With faith as his armor, and a fire in his soul, Alpha Red stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha Red, the hero we need, with the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread, for the world is safe with Alpha Red. Red. In a world full of chaos, where evil may lurk, he fights for the righteous, his mission and work. Guided by God, with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need, with the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread, for the world is safe with Alpha Red. Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, you'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need, with the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread, for the world is safe with Alpha Red. So stand tall with courage, let your faith lead the way. With Alpha Red beside us, we'll see a brighter day. For evil may tremble, but never forget, the world is protected by our hero, Alpha Red. Alpha Red. Alpha Red.